Hi, I'm Kristen Brenner from Integrity Mind Body, and I work with smart, aware women who want to connect to their own inner strengths and resources to build a strong connection with their kids. I consider myself to be a self-care evangelist. Self-care is how moms find and maintain their own authenticity as people and parents, and I want moms everywhere to learn exactly what they need to fill them up. Not just because that's how they care for others, although that's a nice side benefit, but first and foremost because they're worthy of this kind of self-compassion. So today I want to talk to you about the vagus nerve and how it relates to self-care, how you can easily hack it to change your present moment experience with something that you already have, that we all have, and that's the breath. But first, we have to talk a little bit about self-compassion. So when Kristen Neff was researching mindful self-compassion, she discovered that there's three components: common humanity, self-kindness, and mindful awareness. Self-compassion really is the foundation of self-care. It's the container where self-care exists. So through self-compassion, we can become aware of our needs at any moment by settling and noticing how we're feeling. We become aware of the body, of our feelings or our emotional state, and what's happening in the mind. This is what mindfulness is. It's awareness of the present moment experience with acceptance. And this is really the first step to self-care. It's being clear about how you're feeling. So it's important that we all take a few minutes, a couple times a day, to really settle and become aware. What are we feeling right now? Notice if there's tension in the body. Notice if the mind is going. Notice if there's fear, worry, overwhelm, anger, happiness, joy, whatever it might be. Once we understand how we're feeling, we can begin to answer this quintessential question of self-compassion, which is, what do I need right now? Imagine taking time each day to ask yourself that question. So as we learn these practices for ourselves, we can offer the same practice to our kids and help them learn this simple, although not always easy, skill. Asking them, hey, what do you notice about what's happening in your body right now? What do you notice about how you feel? What do you need? What do you need right now? And is it something you can do for yourself? Is it something I can help you with? This actually begins the process of what we call self and co-regulation. This is incredibly important to developing strong families. When we look at self-regulation, we're talking about the nervous system, and in particular, activation of the parasympathetic nervous system, or what we refer to as the rest and digest nervous system. When our sympathetic nervous system is activated, that's the stress response. And we have to actively do something to reset and realign. Self-regulation allows us to do this work. And kids are honestly looking to us to set the tone for how we manage our difficult moments, right? They see, they watch what we do. So when we become very intentional about the tone that we're setting, we teach them about their own ability to self-regulate. So how does the vagus nerve come into all this? And how can we reset a dysregulated nervous system? Self-care is really intimately connected to the vagus nerve. It's this vast nerve that connects to so many of our body's systems. It's actually referred to as the wanderer. So the vagus nerve is complicated and scientists don't fully understand it. We're learning more things about it all the time, which is really exciting. But in simple terms, stress is really counteracted by greater vagal activity. Very simplistic way to look at it, but true. The vagus nerve is responsible for our sense of well-being. It controls the parasympathetic nervous system, that rest and digest nervous system. So we know that the stress response, the sympathetic nervous system, and the relaxation response, the parasympathetic nervous system, cannot both be active at the same time. So when we activate the parasympathetic nervous system, the stress response automatically decreases. So when we practice kindness toward ourselves, we're actually activating the vagus nerve, so that by practicing self-care and giving ourselves what we need in any given moment, we activate the vagus nerve and our sense of well-being increases. This in turn quiets that fight, flight, or freeze response and warms up the rest and digest response. So doing this on a regular basis is really a brain hack. It creates these new neural pathways, new habits form around how we respond to these stressful situations. The great thing about it is the more we do it, the easier it becomes, the more almost automatic it becomes. Not always, not in every situation, but it's more available to us, more ready to activate and help us to calm down. It fights against what's called the default mode network, which is designed to help us figure out what's wrong, not what's right, and both with ourselves and with the world. So each time you self-regulate through these simple self-care practices like the breath or any other of these simple methods, you are building a foundation for being able to take care of yourself and to be able to self-regulate more easily. And when you do that, it can't help but to have a positive impact on your kids. So let's do this simple practice right now. This is something that you can really do anytime. I love this practice and I do it all the time. This is called a 2-to-1 breath, or also referred to as an elongated exhale. Research has shown that this particular breath does a great job of activating the vagus nerve. So we're going to practice that right now. So find your comfortable seat, whatever that might be for you in this moment. Wherever you are, notice the grounding points of the body, where the body makes connection either with the ground or with the seat underneath you. Notice the hands resting in the lap. Begin to notice the sensation of the breath moving in and out of the body. So in a moment, we'll begin the elongated exhale breath. And I'll start off counting just for a few rounds and then leave you to count on your own. And as we begin, we'll begin with an inhale to a count of 3 and an exhale to a count of 6. You might find that you need a longer inhale or a shorter inhale, so do what's right for your body. So letting all the air leave the lungs now, exhaling fully. And then as you're ready, begin to inhale. 1, 2, 3. Exhale. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale. 1, 2, 3. Exhale. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale. 1, 2, 3. Exhale. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Continuing now at your own count and making that count be exactly what works for your body in this moment. And at the bottom of your next exhale, allowing the breath to come back to its natural rhythm. And once again, noticing the grounding points of the body, the feet, the sitting bones. Notice the hands resting in the lap, and notice the length of the spine. And when you're ready, you can gently open your eyes. So I would love to hear from you about what that practice was like for you, if you could feel a change in your nervous system as you went through that. And noticing and let me know if this happens, if you practice this breath on a regular basis, if it becomes a quicker response, a quicker activation of the vagus nerve to decrease that sense of dysregulation. So I'd love to hear from you. You can message me here, or you can always email me, Kristen@integritymindbody.com. You can visit my website, obviously, integritymindbody.com, and let me know how this practice was for you. I look forward to hearing from you. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.